Yeah. Ooh.
Should we lead in with the Hoboken quarantine video?
No, me first.
Are all the feeds up? Live in three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Parlor Talk, episode 13. We are cruising tonight. Our special guests. We're kicking off industry talk with.
Why is your mic so low?
Why is my mic so low?
No one can hear you.
I don't know.
Talk.
I don't know. We are checking the microphones.
You're up.
Am I better?
You're live. You're good.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Parlor Talk, episode 13. We have tonight our guests. First up for industry talk, we have Emerson Daniels and Eddie Lopez. This dynamic duo, two of the top wedding talent entertainers and nightlife entertainers in the Jersey area from the world-renowned Noble Productions, are going to be on with us to chop it up for the next 25 minutes. We're pretty excited about that. And then we have our artist spotlight with a fantastic producer. This guy's super talented. M.I., good friend of mine. We got some exclusive music he's going to share with us, and we're just going to, talk to him about what he's got going on, making music, and putting some tips and some new music out there. So we're excited about it. But first up, we have a couple clips from our sponsors here.
All right, so that was a exclusive cut from one of our close friends. Shout out to my man Will from Visionary Ventures, putting that first premiere cut of, I would call it just at night in Hoboken during the quarantine, man. Just really super cinematic, dope stuff from Will. So shout him out. Check out Visionary Ventures on Instagram, one of our big supporters and content producers. So excited to have him on the team and working with us. But what else you got, Chris?
Everyone is telling us there's no sound.
All right, everyone. So, like I said, episode 13, we have coming on live on the show right now Emerson Daniels and Eddie Lopez, two close friends of mine, incredible, talented entertainers from New Jersey, working for one of the best entertainment companies out there, Noble Entertainment. So, we're about to pull them up here. And we'll let them kind of introduce themselves. Here they are, coming up.
What's up, boys?
Whoa.
Whoa, what's going on?
What's going on?
Dan, you can hear us?
Wait. All right, now go.
Oh, now we have Dan audio. I love that.
There we go.
All right, so which
What's
one's
up,
which one's Dan and which one's Eddie?
Eddie Lopez.
So
Emerson Daniels.
Emerson Daniels, my man. All right, guys, so welcome to the Parlor Talk, episode 13. We're excited to chop it up with you guys because you, both of you, have extensive nightlife, club-specific experience and countless hours of wedding entertainment and private event entertainment experience. So what a better fit than to have you guys on and come talk to us. You know, we're really fortunate to have a lot of people logged on across all the platforms right now between Facebook and the YouTube, and we have a lot of industry support in general. So I know a lot of people are excited to kind of hear about your stories. So why don't we just start with a quick introduction with both of you, and then maybe let's kind of just start with talk to us about maybe like your first experience in the nightclubs.
Cool. Eddie, you want to go first?
Sure, man. What's up, guys? Eddie Lopez, co-owner of Noble Productions. Been working in the entertainment industry for 20 years, both nightlife, mini clubs all over the place, and then private events everywhere. And that's me. What's up?
Okay.
What's up, everyone? Emerson Daniels. Got my start basically back in like 7th grade, making mixtapes for my friends. And then I graduated from there to making just finding the best music. And then the natural progression is DJing. So I've been doing nightclubs and private events for about 10 to 12 years now. And pretty much everything Jersey Shore, New York City, Atlantic City, everything that involves entertainment pretty much. So
Yeah, that's killer, man. Thank you so much. And Eddie, super humble guy that I know. Don't let this guy fool you. He is a master on the microphone. And Dan, one of the a DJ that I looked up to when I first started. So these two guys, just beyond excited to have you here, and also close personal friends. So tell me, so I think let's start with like I want to just talk about nightclubs like in general, because when we were all started first going out, the nightclub scene was a lot different than what it is today, and it has changed 360 degrees, if not more, in my opinion. So, what was like the first like big club that you guys had went to, like when you first like either got in or were working with someone, or when you were 21, whatever that was? What was that first big club you remember walking into? Because I remember mine was going to Abyss for teen night, and that was kind of like my experience.
Abyss, yeah, of course. Eddie, you're a little bit older, so you can take it.
Just a little bit. My first, when I was a teenager, Stingrays. Stingrays was the big club that we used to go out to. And I used to then sneak into Exit, Tunnel, Sound Factory back in New York City. When we were kids, one of our friends knew the promoter, so we would sneak through the back door. So back in the day, that's really where I got my introduction into nightclubs, was first Stingrays, being like 12, 13. And then from there, traveling to New York City now, 16, 17, and then going into those kind of clubs. And then just taking it from there. First club that I worked at, worked at, was Elements in Seabright. Shout out to the guys over there. Now I think it's called The Dive, I think. But anyways, that was Bon Jovi's brother, Matt Bon Jovi, owned that club.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And it's crazy to think like that you were 12, 13 years old at Stingrays at a nightclub, because I know like you guys, think about it, because you guys, you're in the bar mitzvah space and you meet these 12-year-old kids, and like, some of them you're like, they can barely function without their parents. So it's pretty unbelievable, like to think like back when we were getting introduced to stuff at 12, 13, 14 years old, how different it's changed now. So, Dan, what was the first big nightclub you ever went to?
For me, it was Abyss teen nights, and then we transitioned over to Deco Lounge, obviously.
when I went to Abyss tea nights, I had the tightest V-neck shirt, and I would wait in the snow, the rain. It didn't fucking matter. But
So at that time, they weren't even cool then. I mean, they're not cool now,
They're
but
not.
they weren't cool then. And then
Ever.
that's what it was.
Ever.
And then, so it was like Abyss, Deco, and then like Pasha in the city.
Yep.
And then from there, we kind of transitioned back to like AC, just random bars in the city, and then obviously like the Jersey Shore. So
Yeah, you can't beat it. And like we're in a pretty like awesome location. I feel like because we're so close to a little bit of everything, right? You know, we're in between New York, we're at the shore, and then like AC is like an hour and a clip, depending on how fast you drive, I guess, right?
yeah, we used to take that town down in AC. So
Yeah, no, that's a good time, man. So, yeah, why don't you guys like? I'd love to hear a little bit more about the private event stuff. Obviously, Eddie rocking the Noble joint, love it. So maybe tell us a little bit about like the Noble journey and like how you guys are so well known working together as a DJ MC combo.
Yeah, man. I think for anybody that's in this space in entertainment, especially private events, it's chemistry, man. You go in, there's a passion, you have drive, perseverance, you stand the test of time, and then you find somebody that's almost mimicking on how you feel about the industry, and then you find a chemistry with this person, as I found with Emerson and all the other guys like Lonnie, Phil, and all the other guys at Noble. And, going into that private event space, just really just, connecting, you know what I mean? Like when I first met Dan, like for myself, when I first got into entertainment, I was a kid, man. I was 15, lied about my age, told Lonnie that I was able to drive, didn't tell him how old I was, said, yeah, I could drive a car. And then he just believed me. Back then, you didn't check licenses. You were just like, oh, you could drive? Cool. You want to work this weekend? So from there, just, doing private events, learning the industry, learning the trade, meeting awesome people like you guys. Love what you guys have been doing. And down the road, all of a sudden, this young man from Food Town decides that he wants to be a DJ. Shout out to Rich Foster bringing this guy in. And I be honest with you, the first time that I heard his name, I said, I'll come to your house. I'll check out what you got, man. I want to see your skill, if there is any. And then I went to his house when he lived in Howell in his parents' basement. And he DJ'd for me for the first time on a controller.
You laughed at me, I think, right?
Little mini controller thing that you had. And it was like shoes and a dryer. Just got all. But you could tell that he loved it. Didn't matter that it sounded like crap. He just loved what he was doing. So from there, man, just, making a team, like how you guys are doing. You create this chemistry and you make it a team, and you both have equal love for what you do, and the passion is there. So from that, there's a genuine respect. And with that respect comes then learning off each other, learning your little antics, those little things that make you different from maybe other entertainers. And that's it, man. It's magic from there, Welcome to Disney World. All your dreams come true.
Eddie, real quick, just to add to that, it's like an ebb and flow, right? I can not essentially finish your sentences, but, we kind of work on off each other's energy for these private events, and even like in the nightclub space or the nightlife space. So it's kind of like, we've been working together for 10 plus years now. And it's just kind of knowing
February 8th of 2008 is when Dan.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like knowing that ebb and flow with the other person that you're working with, like creates a cohesive product that we put out to our clients every weekend. So.
No, I think that's fantastic, and you guys bring up like a lot of really just good points. Eddie, I really like that you said, hey, maybe he didn't have the quite technical skills to start, but he had that passion and energy and wanted to like just get into the music piece. And I think that's what is lacking the most right now for up and coming entertainers or guys that want to get into DJing. Just realizing like, they think they have this version of perfect here, and they're like, hey, I'm scared to put myself out there. I don't want to go play. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But if you can find those, one in a millions, and I think all companies like Noble and Class Kills and everyone that has like a little group going on, there's always those one or two that, really like started from the bottom and kind of have that energy and passion. You make a really good point, and I think that's kind of all where we began, because I don't think no one just wakes up one day and just can beat match. Like, I don't think that's like a out of the womb skill.
No, I think it's like the Matrix, right? You don't see it until like you see it, and then you got it.
Yep.
And you can do it forever. So.
No, 1,000%. So that's that's just a really good point, man, and I can't commend you enough. But Eddie, most known for your microphone work. So talk about some of your like interesting MC jobs that you've had over the years, so aside from the private event stuff, because I know you've hosted a lot of different events at a lot of different places
Yeah,
that are either.
obviously, doing the private events, but outside, uh, doing a lot of nightlife actually helped me then hone into just the wordplay when it came into the private event space. But I've been very honored and pleasured to do. There was I can't remember the name right now, but I was able to host. It was, I think, like 5,000 or 10,000 kids from all over the tri-state, and it was like hands up for young America. And so I literally was able with my team to host and perform and do something that was really touching in that respect, where you had all these kids all excited and being able for them to see them dancing and their hands up, and then doing things for special needs. And to get super specific right now, I'd have to like go back in the test of time because of 20 years of having the microphone and being able to work with such outstanding other entertainers and working with different organizations, doing things that really make a difference, not just for one person, but for a group of people, for many people. So, but yeah, man, just be just. I've done everything, and the one thing, and I'm not sure about across the board when it comes to entertainment, but the one thing I have on my resume, the one thing.
Don't say.
I'm
Don't
like,
say.
you know
Don't
what?
say.
I don't
Say
know
it.
if anybody else has it, but I actually hosted a funeral once. It's on the resume. Done it one time.
That's definitely a unique one for sure. Well, I
It
know
was
like you were at. How long were you at Park East?
Park East. From back in my OLS days. I don't know the years exactly, but there was a few years, maybe like 3-4 years, that I was up there with OLS and the Friday nights with Manny the Greek and Costa Dimitri. Shout out to them. And that was transition from Deco, doing the side room at Deco. Back when Unique and Clutch
Right,
used to
right,
work.
right.
It was unique Manny the Greek, then it switched over to Manny and Clutch. That's what it was. And then I would work the side room. And then from there they transitioned me over to Park East.
So I remember it was like a balmy June night in August of 2010-ish. Dan was still wearing jeans.
I don't do that anymore. You know that.
So put it there. But I remember we all went there to go see you MC, and Manny the Greek was there playing, and DQ was bartending that like closet bar, and they had all the lounge stuff in the center, and Mark Nitty was there in all Dallas gear, and it was just that was kind of like my reintroduction into the Jersey nightlife scene, being away at college. So really interesting because that was one of the first times I remember meeting you guys.
Shout out to Mark Nitty, man. So when I was a kid, he was the MC over at Stingrays when DJ Mello was like the main DJ there. And I remember Nitty being on the mic back then. So it's cool that I was able to work alongside him when it came to, Deco, Abyss, Parkey. So yeah, man, that guy got time into the business. A lot of talent.
Yeah, that's killer, man. And you guys do a great job of staying relevant. And one thing I noticed, Dan, that you're kind of up on is doing the music video mixing in your sets.
Yeah.
So you want to dive into that?
Just like with Serato Video, it makes it so easy, especially nowadays with the the computers can handle it. So if you download MP3, you download MP4, and then you kind of just play that HD. It works. The only thing I actually noticed if I like private events, people kind of get sidetracked. They're looking at the video, and they're not looking at they're not enjoying the music. They're enjoying the video. So that's kind of like the only thing like the private event space that I kind of noticed. But I think there is something there. It took me a while to kind of rebuild my entire MP3 library into my MP4 library.
Right.
But it's always good to kind of have that thing. If this is our job, this is what we do for a living, you might as well just kind of deep dive on it,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I do remember I was recently out in Nashville, and there it was like every guy was playing music videos, it felt like,
Right.
Which I thought was interesting because you don't see that here at all, at least in the Jersey, New York area.
Right. I think the visuals are really cool. Just it's just that extra thing to add to the nightlife experience.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. It could definitely be distracting, though. I've seen it just distract the crowd.
Just like people just kind of stare at it, and they're like,
yeah, and you kind of
But
lose
that's just like
that engagement.
the private event space. So
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so we're gonna move to the next segment here. Dan, tell me one of Eddie's mannerisms, like funny mannerisms, if you could pick
oh,
one.
really? You want to hear this one? All right. So when Eddie's telling a lie, he goes like this.
Okay.
He like brushes the back of his neck when he's telling a lie.
Wow.
So don't play him in poker.
Wow.
All right.
That was a pretty serious burn. Eddie, what is yours for Dan?
Probably right. He's probably actually. Dan. Dan. One thing Dan can't do is when things start to get heated up, things start to go south. To keep his cool is very hard for Dan to do. He gets very like, when things start to go a little south than the way he likes. So
Yeah.
I'm more of the calming sense of the group or of the couple, I guess you would say. I'm more the calming person. Like, man, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure this out. Everything's fine, man.
All right.
And he gets a little crazy, but that's the yin and the yang.
We always get the job done though, at the end of the day.
So like when they're going out for the daddy-daughter dance for the bat mitzvah, and mom walks up and says, "Can you play we changed the song. Can you play it off the phone?"
Oh God, don't tell Dan to play a song. The way it works, you tell Eddie, and then Eddie then relates it to Dan.
Yeah.
Big facts. Big facts.
You got to speak Dan. No, that's funny, man. Because we all got those things. But I've seen you guys perform at numerous events and weddings. I'm just fortunate to kind of be in your network and work with you guys. So for anyone that's out there that's in the industry that's listening on our platforms, if you could give one tip, to someone that maybe wants to jump into the private event space, how would they get started? Just one tip each.
Go ahead, Dan.
So if you want to get in the private event space, I would say know who you are selling to. Not everyone can do a mitzvah. Not everyone can do a wedding. Not everyone can do a Sweet 16. Not everyone can do a corporate event. You have to know who your clientele are and kind of navigate towards that route, but also understand who they are and what you're bringing to the table for them.
Right, and that could be in any factor. Like, even if you're not quite a DJ yet or you're not quite an MC, but you want to get into that, there's always a place to start. So the first thing you got to do, you as being the people that are listening, anyone that's tuned in right now, like take Dan's advice and just sometimes show up, and say, hey, look, I'm willing to work. I want to get involved. Well, maybe the first time you work, it's moving boxes. And that's a humble beginning because I think you got some of the best entertainers now, like yourselves, have come from the bottom up.
And then also be humble in this industry, right? Just, if you have to eat shit for a little bit, then that's what you have to do if you want to get to where you want to be.
Facts. No one likes you in this industry if you're a dick and walking around with an ego.
No, of course, but and then the last thing, every DJ should learn how to count to 8.
Yeah, count your bars, people.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. Just count your bars. Don't look at the screen the entire time.
Public service announcement from the Yeezy King. All right, Eddie, what's your one tip, man?
My tip: know who you are and what you want to be in this industry. Be genuine. Be genuine to yourself and be genuine to the people that you're working with and working for. And just stick with it. A lot of people get into it because they see the quick money, and yeah, there's money to be made. But if you're not really with the passion, you're just doing it for the money. It's seen. You're very transparent. So I would say if you really love what you're doing, if you love the industry, you want to get into the industry, be just genuine with yourself to know that I'm going to be this person in this industry, and just stick with it. There's ups and downs like anything else in life, and as long as you stick with it and your love for what you do is like far more than anything else, you're just going to be successful. That's it. That's really all.
Amen, man. Just great words from two awesome people. Once again, Eddie Lopez, Emerson Daniels, two of my favorites coming from Noble Entertainment, and you can find them all across the shore, rocking some of the biggest clubs on the mic and behind the decks, man. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so next up, we got the one and only M.I. This guy is from Hoboken. He is a producer, DJ, putting out some fire music. We're gonna chat it up with him in just a minute. So sit tight, and we'll be back in just a sec.
Do you wanna blow my horn? Do you wanna blow my horn?
All right, so next up, like I said, we got DJ MI coming on. We're going to get him dialed in just a second, so sit tight. We're getting him on the FaceTime. Hold tight 1 sec, everyone. MI, what's up, brother?
Yo, what up?
Can you hear us?
Y'all can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Welcome on Parlor Talk.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Absolutely, man. So why don't you kick it off? Why don't you introduce yourself? I know you as a DJ. I met you in Hoboken, and I know you're putting out some fire music. So, tell all the people, what you're about.
What's going on? I'm MI. I'm from Jersey. Let's see. I make Jersey club music. I've been probably in like the DJing aspect of it for probably 10 years now. I started when I was like 12 years old, 13 years old.
Right.
Been producing since I was like 16 years old. So yeah, man, just one day at a time. I'm
Cook
23
in the
years
studio.
old.
I feel that. Oh, that's great, man. What software do you use to produce?
I actually started on Logic 9, and once Logic made that upgrade to Logic 10,
Yep.
I had to get out of it.
Okay.
So I've been on Ableton ever since. I've been on Ableton for like 5 years or 4 years now.
Yeah, no, that's good. We're Ableton guys too, and I do sometimes have to get into a Logic project to work on stems or something, and man, is it painful. It's like pulling teeth for me.
It's awful because I used to be on GarageBand like before I knew anything about producing.
Right.
And once Logic went to Logic 10, it gave me like a flashback. I felt like I was looking at GarageBand, so I had to get out of that real quick.
No, that's funny, man. And each his own. I've seen people put out,
It's preference. It's not the tool. It's how you use it. That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
A lot of people hate on, like, oh, you use FL, like it's literally, if you can, it doesn't matter what you use to, produce or create anything.
Yep.
It's really how you do it. That's end of the day.
No, I believe in that big time because ability to write chords and ability to produce and engineer is really has nothing to do with the software. But it always seems like Fruity Loops for some reason gets a bad rap. I don't know why.
I have no idea why. It's always been. It's literally always been that.
And there's like Fruity Loop memes and shit. You don't see people making memes about Ableton,
And I've never understood that because probably the best producers I've ever worked with are on Fruity Loops.
Yeah, I think it's
Literally,
the way that it lays everything out, this like grid is just like easy to.
I can't hear you.
Am I muted?
He was muted the whole time.
Oh my god.
I'm back now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
I was just saying, like Fruity Loops, it's with the way everything's laid out, all these boxes, and you just fill in the boxes to create a drum pattern. Like,
Yeah,
it's simple.
it never worked for me. I tried to start on Fruity Loops a long time ago,
Yeah.
and honestly, to me, it's like how it looks. That's where I'm comfortable. They all do the same thing at the end of the day, but I needed something to kind of be comfortable on my eyes, and Fruity Loops just looked like a robot to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like using like a manual It's like an old school
Like a sequencer.
synthesizer, or not a synthesizer, like a sequencer or a controller.
Yeah, it looks like that for
That's
sure.
kind of the way it works. So if you've used one of those old school, whatever the hell they're called, I'm drawing a blank right now. You use one of those. I have the DJM sampler that looks like a CDJ. You use one of those samplers like that, and that's what it looked like. It kind of reminds me a lot of like a sampler. And
Yeah, for sure.
I messed with Fruity Loops back when it was called Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was probably like one of the first ones I was messing with before
Yep.
I messed with Logic, before I messed with GarageBand. Oh, there was something else out there that was free. Adobe Audition, I've messed around with years ago when you used to steal it because it was the easiest thing to steal.
Yep. No, that's funny, man. And it seems crazy because how the game has changed with Splice getting pulled into it. I know. Are you on Splice?
I mean, Splice is probably the best thing that's ever happened to any producer.
Right.
Honestly, I think it's changed the game, and not only like with the samples. I mean, sharing projects, like I save all of my projects to my Splice account.
Yep.
So at least because I've been, like a lot of times when I have sessions, I'll, be in this studio and next studio, and, I'll be in like a different studio after that. And I'll just log on to my Splice and open my project in any studio I go to. And that has completely, changed everything as like a producer. And it's genius.
And we all know that, like, there's I've worked with guys too that are like, they have to like bring their laptop with them because
that's the worst. You guys have an aux cord? You guys have an aux cord? I'm always, I went to school for audio engineering,
right,
and I was engineering for a little bit, and that was probably my pet peeve. Sitting in a session and like the rapper or producer that came in only wanted an aux cord. And that was like my biggest pet peeve for a while because I'm like, this is a studio, like log on to your stuff here. You work at it, like this stuff here.
Yeah, like their little shitty Asus computer that they got at Best Buy is probably not as good as the servers that you guys have in a full-blown studio. So, no, that's funny. But it seems like it almost feels like Ableton was a little ahead of the curve. Like they saw the sample-based producing coming because, like, I know, like, even for us, and I'm sure guys like you, like, everyone has different creative waves. And sometimes, like, I could pick a sample out of Splice, drop it into Ableton, and I could go for 3 hours, right, and just have a creative session. And maybe I don't have all the synthesizers and outboard gear, but I feel like you don't even need that anymore,
No, I mean, nowadays everybody's in the box, really. You have your selective few that, prefer, hardware or anything like that. And I mean, I like working strictly on my computer. I have everything I need, or a computer in general. I have everything I need, and today you don't even need to know how to play the piano. You have everything on the computer that can, there's little like MIDI effects that'll keep you in key, or just there's so many tools that could be used on the computer to make it easier, and I'm not trying to say you should work, for it to be easier. You work like user friendly, it's like.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you bring up a couple good points there because not everyone's good at every part of the process, right? There's the creators, right? I know people that can spit fire out of their fingers onto a piano keyboard, but for the fucking life of them, they can't figure out how to mix a track down or vice versa, or just pick any part of the process when it comes down to, are you good at the writing? Can you engineer it? Can you mix and master it? Can you arrange it? Can you songwrite? There are a few that can do all of it, right? And those are the people that are the 1% of the 1%. But for us, like I just say, like regular people out there that have good ideas, have fundamentals, can write stuff. Those tools that you're talking about just make it a lot easier, man. So I agree with that.
Which is also what Splice, saved everything, because the people that, let's say, couldn't write chords, you go to Splice, you'll find a sample in less than 30 seconds that'll fill that gap, that what you were lacking to make your track, take that whole next level, take it to the whole next level. And that's why I think they completely changed the whole entire game.
Yeah, you're paying pennies for someone else to write something that is now essentially a collaboration, but you already paid them for it. Yeah, exactly.
royalty free too.
That's the best part about the whole thing. So you could just constantly be creating and not have to worry about, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? No, I don't need to worry about how to make a synth make this noise because I could find the noise here, sample it. Now I have a killer track. So I think that was huge for the industry.
You're not
for sure.
staring at an empty project like I used to for hours until I came up with an idea.
Yeah.
You could scroll through Splice for 30 minutes, find all these different melodies and to give you some foundation to start with, to have something to bounce off of. Because most of the time what I'll do in my process is I'll find a sample. I'll start with the sample to give me that foundation, build around it, and then ultimately eliminate the sample, and then I have a full track there.
There you go.
It just gives me something to kind of get the wheels moving. And then, I mean, it's been the best thing for me personally as a producer, hands down.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you came on, and the first thing you said was like, Jersey Club is my wave. That's your vibe, and that's what I know. MI for. So, for those of the people that are tuned in right now don't know like what Jersey Club is, can you be a little bit more specific of that genre?
Yeah, I mean, Jersey Club really was like the underground, like house party type of New Jersey like music. That's what was played in at least the house parties that I went to. And when I grew up, it was always Jersey Club. And Jersey Club always, sounded like, muddy, not that professional, like that. It wasn't, mainstream sounding. And it was that underground music. It came from Baltimore Club. Shout out DJ Tamil. DJ Tamil was one of the guys that brought it over to Jersey. And,
Yep.
All these guys started making their own version of it, what it became Jersey Club. And it was just when I first started, I was making Jersey Club for dancers. Dancing to the Jersey Club music was a big thing back when I started, and let's call it, 2007. And that's where, all the Jersey Club was. They were making these dance tracks for dancers to make videos to. So that's kind of where it came in, and then slowly the remixes came into play where, people were playing Jersey Club remixes to everything. Now you can't find a song that doesn't have a Jersey Club remix to it. Everybody has literally remixed everything.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And for those of you guys that are listening that are not DJs, it's a very clearly defined kick pattern, and I would say sequencing the samples and the chops, it's distinct. So we'll pause there. You sent me over a couple exclusives here. I didn't know which one you wanted me to play. Chris, they're on the right deck. I think. What are the two that are on there?
I have Movie Star.
We got Movie Star, and what's the other one?
I don't care.
IDC. Is that it?
Yeah, that's I don't care. So I'm
okay.
I'm coming out with an EP with my boy Stevie G.
Shout out Stevie.
Shout out Stevie G. He's a Jersey Club legend. He is the Jersey Club legend. We have a full EP together, 3 songs coming out, all original. This one is kind of like the more pop sounding,
Right.
Pop sounding Jersey Club, because what we're doing is we're still staying with our roots with Jersey Club, but making it more mainstream and just merging it with different genres.
Love
so
that.
that one, and Movie Star is a single that I've been sitting on for a while. Shout out my boy Chase Lavish. He's a singer on it, but that one I think I'm going to release as a single soon.
Yeah, dope, man. All right, cool. We're gonna cue it up and we're gonna drop it here. So this is some unreleased MI and Stevie G, and this will be coming out soon, man. So we're gonna spin it right now.
Dope.
I know you don't owe me nothing, yeah, but I wanna show you what you're missing. Let me break it down for you, I can do that. I can show you the love I will never take back. I remember days when there was something left. I remember nights that you didn't care. But I'm not saying that you're everybody, but you treated me like everybody. Just so you know, how to let you go. I don't wanna do this anymore. Cause now I don't, now I don't
Dude, fire stuff, Mike. Fire stuff, bro.
Thank you.
Couple things I really like about that track. Super playable.
Yeah.
It's not too genre specific, right? It's not like that jungle terror,
Yeah.
almost trap Jersey Club, which I love personally. But when you talk about broad spectrum, are you able to play it out? Fire. I think the hook's catchy. But what I love is that you guys really retained your elements, like your roots, like you said. You got that club, that Jersey Club sound in there, but you're making it more popular, man. So I'm excited for that to hit the streets, man. I think that's going to do well. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot for more radio friendly, but still have that Jersey Club like soul to it, almost, if you want to say.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. I love that some of those classic Jersey sounds, like that snare, hi-hat roll. It's like
Jersey break.
everyone calls it I think it's called Think. I don't even know what the hell it's from. I don't remember.
That's the sample on the original Jersey Club pack. That's what the sample was called.
Yeah, it's called Think.
At
one point, my buddy Frankie, we found the original song that it's actually from, but it is just a classic. I've tried to recreate it. Just something about it. It was clearly recorded like on actual instruments, so there's just something about it that's just classic.
Yeah.
And then the other elements start to go. The kick pattern starts to go. I like how you brought that Jersey vibe to us. What I would consider a more down tempo track, even though it's really not. It ends up. It goes into this a little bit of a higher energy drop, but it's not super. It's not
starts
like
off like very dark and kind of like slow pace.
Exactly.
And,
it's not punching you in the
really what we're
face like the
shooting for.
Jersey from a few years ago. This is like very similar to the track 4B put out with Chris Brown. I think last year.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that kind of vibe is definitely like catching up to be a little bit more of a mainstream vibe, but with that Jersey Club root in it. I didn't hear any gunshots though, so
Yeah, no, you're not gonna hear any of those.
No gun cocks.
No,
that-
none of those here.
That's a really good vibe, man. And I know you roll with that. I know you roll with that crew, and that's cool stuff. So, tell me, are you playing shows as MI, or are you just staying more kind of low key in the cut in the studio, just putting out the beats?
Right now, honestly, this year was really for me to just be in the studio, kind of just build that vault of just unreleased music to be able to just put out constant records. Because last year was pretty much maybe 2 years ago was like the first time I ever like actually played a show under MI.
Yep.
Out of New Jersey, and been having like a few shows. I had a few in LA, had a few in Miami, kind of just jumping like all over the place, and really kind of opened my eyes. Like I put out a few remixes that did really well, and I just didn't have enough mix.
Yep.
So my goal was really just to dedicate, the time to just being in the studio, constantly making records that I could just hold on to and sit on, and at any point just put them out.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good strategy, and that's a good play too, because like this stuff sometimes takes a long time and sometimes it's overnight. So,
Exactly.
and you don't know which one of those are going to go
Very
hot.
rarely it's overnight too, and from my experience, it's never been overnight.
Right.
Never.
Right. I mean, look. Well, it's changing right now, and you got to hang on tight because you go on TikTok a lot. There's a lot of Jersey Club on TikTok,
That's true. Yeah.
and you would like. I'll give you an example. Like that track, you put it out on Spotify, and say it does really well, and you guys get 15, 20,000 streams, but then you go on TikTok and you get a famous person on TikTok to do a little dance to it, and they're getting 20 million.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the game has changed.
That's so true. That's honestly, and it's so funny you dove into TikTok, because I think that is probably one of the most powerful, platforms right now for artists in general. TikTok has completely exploded. I've never seen a social media platform like that in my whole entire life. I mean, it's given numerous people like crazy careers that they probably could have never had.
Right. And it's a whole different like thing. I mean, I don't know if anyone on here really remembers Vine, I don't know if you
The
were
closest thing I remember it to, like
right. They kind of did like a Vine reboot, and it's interesting, but they added like all these like relevant elements that just like Vine was ahead of its time, and it just kind of like stumbled on itself and fizzled out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk. I feel like every episode we talk about TikTok, man. I've been on it, so I created a TikTok, and I'm just spending time digesting the content because just trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it's like you got to watch it and pay attention.
I think I studied it for like a solid like month and a half, and I'm like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. I started making TikToks, and I'm just like, this is not for me. I just can't. I felt so old trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to post something. I couldn't figure it out for like a month.
Right.
I'm watching YouTube videos. How do I post on TikTok? And like, how do I edit? I'm like, how the hell? Like, I felt so old.
It's definitely complicated.
Yo, I'll be straight. That was me like 2 days ago. I'm like, yo, you're not alone in this, man.
Oh, it was crazy.
And I come up with these ideas for TikTok, but they're not all music related. Or actually, none of them have been music related. So I'm like, this doesn't fit my brand. So like, I have a great idea. Oh, I could do one for cooking, and like I could do it with like 10
that's
for
the
alcohol.
beauty of it. But that's the beauty of it. None of it fits anybody's brand.
Yeah.
It's all, and like the algorithm with TikTok, you could be doing nothing and it go viral with you having like no followers.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. But like the guys that are really big on TikTok right now, that are in the industry, like DJs or producers, like I follow Dylan Francis. He's
awesome.
But he's just
awesome.
a crazy motherfucker to begin with, and he's hilarious. So no matter what the hell he puts the dumbest shit up, and you laugh.
That's my
because he's
point. It
hilarious.
doesn't matter if it matches your brand or not. It's content.
Yeah.
On TikTok, it's strictly content. There's people that sit home all day long just putting out videos all day,
Yep.
all night.
And
That's
you're
it.
at home all day, all night making music. Like,
Cranking out
Yeah.
fire beats, bro.
Yeah.
No, it's cool, and it's interesting how we have all these tools to kind of get our music heard out there. So I'm excited for you and some of the stuff that you got coming out. So we want to support. We'll make sure everyone. We'll put all the MI stuff in the bottom of the link. And for your reference, Mike, this episode will be posted up to the Class Kills YouTube. So if people want to find out a little bit more about MI, that's where you can get it, man.
Yeah.
But if you could give like one tip, or just any advice to a young producer out there on how to just get tracks out or just anything in general, what would it be? Drop some knowledge, man.
I'm gonna take this a little personal. I think the biggest tip that I wish somebody gave me was to just not listen to anybody. Kind of just whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out as an artist should be what you believe in, what makes you happy, it gives you that feeling that pretty much nothing else can give. And I think it all starts with the people you surround yourself with. It all starts, like how, all of the people that I surround myself with motivate me every single day. And the biggest tip that I could give is no matter what anybody says, the content or whatever you want to put out or whatever you believe in, stick to that, even if nobody else is agreeing with you. That's why I think I love Jersey clubs so much, is because when I first started it was underground music. It wasn't really accepted in the mainstream eye, if you want to call it, and honestly, I think me kind of just like believing in it because it was what made me happy, is what I liked. And now you see everybody kind of, believing in it, like, step by step is what it was worth the whole entire ride for me. So I don't know what genre is going to be closest to like this, but whatever you do as a creator, as an artist, make what you enjoy making and don't stop. There is no finish line. That's what people have to understand. There is no finish line. You can't look at it like you're trying to get to a finish line. You just got to keep pushing nonstop until you can't. That's really what it comes down to. Don't listen to anybody. You make your own lane. In the end of the day, that's it.
Yo, love that, man. That's just a bunch of knowledge there, and love the energy and the passion shows. MI. So yeah, I love that feedback. Is you got to create your own path, and if you just keep trying to do what everyone else is doing, you're not going to get anywhere, man. You're just
You're not going to get anywhere. Yeah.
Just noise, right? No, that's dope stuff, man. So what's your gram? Where do you post mixes? SoundCloud. What is it all?
Everything at DJMI973, all across the board, everywhere. You can find anything you want on any platform. DJMI973.
Google it, DJMI 973. You'll find
You'll
it.
find everything.
Where do I find the unreleased Calling Jersey Club remix?
In your email in about 15 minutes. I got you. I got you for sure.
Been on the hunt for that one for a minute, man. Yo, I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much. This is
Thank you for
MI,
having me.
producer, episode 13, Parlor Talk. Yo, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. We played some unreleased music for him tonight.
Thank you, Mike.
That'll be coming out soon, and we'll make sure we're going to support you guys. Maybe we have you and Stevie on once the release comes up. We'll get you on here,
definitely.
and we'll just do like we'll do like a listening party or something. We'll run through the EP and talk about it. It'd be good vibes.
Do you have a release date yet, or?
Right now, we don't. Honestly, this coronavirus kind of pushed everything back.
Yeah.
But we're planning on doing something before the summer.
Okay.
So I'll definitely let you guys know
few
first when we come up with a date, and I'd love to do a listening party. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, bro, we're down 100%. So we appreciate it, man. So
Thank you.
everyone, be good, man. So everyone that's tuned in, thank you. That's episode 13. Wrapping it up right here. We had Emerson Daniels, Eddie Lopez from Noble for the for our industry talk, and then that was just MI, music producer, Jersey Club specialist, based out of North Jersey, a good friend of ours. So we debuted some of his new music. We got some good stuff coming up. I'm just gonna pull up some of the people that we got lined up in the next few days. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we got a pretty dope lineup. What's up?
Uh-oh. I'm just saying, Wednesday. Uh-oh.
Wednesday. Chris is excited. Yeah, so next up we got, tomorrow we got Jason Keats, local DJ producer. He's going to cut it up with us for industry talk, and then followed by DJ producer Tease, really super talented guy, putting out all different kinds of music, most notably known for his release with 4B Whistle. Was like it was the number one played track at, I think, EDC Las Vegas that year.
No, it was Ultra. Miami. It was in Miami. Ultra, right?
Yeah.
Or was it EDC too? It might have been both. It was crazy. That song just got so much play.
Yeah, a lot of play. So Tease is another internationally traveling performer and producer, putting out Jersey Club, trap, all different types of music, and we're gonna talk to him. He's calling it from the West Coast. A couple more notables coming up on Thursday. Huge episode. My personal close friend, Chris's personal friend, DQ is coming on. He's got some special news.
Huge news
that he wants to share with everyone. So we got some exclusive information coming to you guys on Parlor Talk. That'll be released on Thursday. He's gonna cut it up with the industry talk, and then we have our feature following up with DQ. After him is Jen Strong, bartender, aficionado, libation maker. She is most well known for her West Bar, cult following at DJs in the summer, but she is a fantastic bartender, huge personality. We're going to talk to her about making drinks and eating hot peppers. So you are definitely not going to want to miss Thursday's episode. And then just the best way to support us right now, if you guys are on the feeds, if you're on our YouTube, go. If you're on Facebook, go over to YouTube, youtube.com/ClassKills. Subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe.
That is the best number one way that you could support Parlor Talk right now. And also, if you guys want, soon we're working on it right now, but we're going to start publishing the schedule to parlortalk.tv, our website.
Parlortalk.tv.
Can't put it on the live cast, but check it out. And go check out some of our other videos. This is episode 13. We got a bunch of other content. Tons of other fantastic entertainers, all great information for anyone that's nightlife related, bartenders, owners, DJs, artists, all across the board. So we're excited to continue to deliver content to everyone that keeps watching. So everyone that's logged in on the Twitch, the Facebook, the YouTube, we appreciate your support. Go help us out. Head over to our YouTube, youtube.com/ClassKills, and you can go hit the subscribe button. So we appreciate everyone's support. Thank you so much. Shout out to Joe Lowe. What's up? And everyone that's logged in today, thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Talk soon.